Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Psalms 23:4. This is my testimony. This is my story.
It all started back in December of 2009. I was wrestling with a bunch of kids, and suddenly I ended up on my back, and a kid jumped knees first into my stomach and caused my large intestine to collapse. Over the span of 6 months, I became very weak. Also, I was in a constant state of pain, to the point to where I was lying in a fetal position on my couch for hours on end trying to get over this. But as the time went on and it never went away, I knew this was serious, and my parents began to see that as well. A few weeks later, I am at St. Mary's Hospital, prepped and going into surgery. After removing the constricted piece, they sewed me back up and put me into the ICU. After being released from the hospital, I remember thinking to myself, finally, it's over. I can go back to my normal life. No. A few days, maybe even a few weeks later, my dad walks into my room and sits down saying that yes, to talk to me about something. My dad told me that while the surgeons were in surgery with removing my intestine, they noticed that 2 of my lymph nodes had a certain growth on them, and they had to be removed as well. After removing them, they were sent to a lab to be tested, and the tests came back positive for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, a type of lymphatic cancer. So after I was hit with this bombshell of news, I began to weep, began to wail. I can't imagine what he was going through, having to tell his son that he was dying. And also, I don't know if he allowed himself to show emotion that much because he had to be the father figure, he had to be the shoulder to lean on. It's a very bad situation to be in. If you didn't know, chemotherapy attacks fast-growing cells to combat the cancer. It wasn't about like this is the best option, it was the only option. The other one was just not taking it, which I wouldn't be here if we didn't. Of course, since the chemotherapy attacks fast-growing cells, it's naturally enough that I would lose my hair. So it come to the point to where I had lost so much hair, it was time just to shave it all off, get rid of it. But my family did not want me to be the only one without hair. So in a ceremonial kind of thing, me, my 2 brothers, and my dad all decided to shave our heads together. Me and my family were very into the scripture during that time, because what better place when you're facing death than to be in communion with God. I remember having one of those Bible studies with my family, and my mom is kind of like, look at me, kind of like this, like she's noticing something and looking right at me. But she says, you need to go into the bathroom and look in the mirror. Of course, being obedient, I did. I look in the mirror, in the next 5 seconds, my hair grows before my eyes for about maybe ½ an inch to an inch long. Not only that, but it came back in this platinum goldish bronze color. I can't really describe it. It also came back really curly, like this entire new image, I guess you could say. Like my identity was one thing before, and it was this rebirth right then and there, saying you are reborn in a way. That's God saying, like, here's your proof if you need it, but I am here. I'm with you this entire step of the way. God is the only reason why I'm here. I should not be here, yet I am. God is the only reason I'm here. Not the treatment, because I got off the treatment 2 weeks early, because it just disappeared. I should be dead. I should have died. The doctor said I should have died, but here I am. When I reflect back on it, it's a very, not really good or bad, it's more of a humbling thing. Like, I don't see it as a positive, I don't see it as a negative either. It's not really a medal, I guess you could say. It's more of a brand. Something that no one wants, but I still wear, not with pride, but more in strength, I guess you could say. Like, this is something that I overcame, this is something that happened to me, and this is something that won't stop me, I guess you could say.